Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to the Going In Raw podcast. Right here, youtube.com/Steve and Larson, and available wherever podcasts can be found. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and the little notify bell to make sure you always get your new Going In Raw notifications. We're also available on the Patreon at patreon.com/Steve and Larson. It's there, Larson. We get the questions for these Matt Chat questions. $20 a month gets you entry here on Matt Chat to give us your video questions. Also, there has been a slight change to our Friendo Care package. We have run out of the Mecha Santa top-notch posters.
Oh, dear.
Those are done. We're done with those. Not going to reorder them.
Wow.
What I will be replacing them with, what we will be replacing them
New
with,
era Friendo Care package
is this is the first change of maybe a couple that are on the way, but this is the immediate change anyway. So for those of you who are awaiting your December care packages and the people who are plunking down for the January care packages, you're going to be getting two different 8x10s of Steve and Larson.
Wow.
Actually, I think they're 8.5 by 11. I think it's a regular paper, but they look like 8x10s in terms of, what like 8x10s look like. The wrestling ones where it has like a white border and then the name of the
like
thing.
headshots.
Yeah, they're basically our media shots, our headshots.
Yeah, exactly.
Signed by us, so you get those instead. I figure the days of Steve W and fun wrestling are, for some, sadly, for us,
well, we
whatever.
still have Interdimension Tension 2 coming up,
But that's the end of it. And so I figure maybe something a bit more us-centric would be appropriate. Plus, I don't want to plunk down. I've got a bunch of those 8x10s laying around, not doing anything.
Yeah, true.
I don't want to plunk down more money for these stupid posters.
What if we get a poster of Rawgate Mutant?
Nope. It's in the past. It's in the past. It's done and done, man.
But he lives on forever.
In our hearts, perhaps.
In our minds, too, I believe. Anyways, we're getting way off base here. Let's get to some of these questions because we got some good ones this week. First up, got a question from the Raptor.
Oh.
The Raptor is back. Let's see what Raptor has to say.
Greetings, Stephen Larson. It is I, the Raptor, with another Mad Chat question. And it seems that AEW will be with us for 3 more years. So, simple, fun question. Where will AEW be in 3 years? Who will be the champions? Who will be there from the WWE and elsewhere? What will AEW be in 3 years?
Thank you, Raptor.
Thank you, Raptor.
Go ahead,
so,
Steve.
Of course, the big news, AEW, bang, re-signed or renewed, extended by TNT for up to 3 to maybe 4 years. Big deal. Pretty awesome for all the wrestlers on the planet because they're going to get paid even more, which is awesome.
Money.
So, that being said, where will they be in 3 years? Your answer is very optimistic. You're going to go best case scenario.
Oh.
I'll go worst case scenario. In the day and age of Disney-esque entertainment conglomerates,
monopolies,
trying to buy up all that stuff, I'm going to say WWE is going to own AEW in 3 years. Yeah, man, believe it. Look, they can only have so many of those matches before their bodies start to give out. WWE is going to be able to purchase every wrestler on the market. They're going to say, "Oh, you want more of a showcase in AEW? Here, do you like more of a showcase or more money? We can offer less dates because we're going to stop doing house shows." And yeah, so everybody's going to be flocking to WWE. They're not even going to be used on TV, and they're still going to be going to WWE because of the paycheck for doing absolutely nothing. They'll find hobbies. So yeah, the WWE is going to own AEW.
That's the most
in
outlandish
3 years. It's not that outlandish.
Well, everything
really
you said,
not that outlandish.
People at wrestlers are going to be content just be paid to sit at home. Nah.
There are plenty of wrestlers that are totally content to be.
Yeah, but
to
a
stay
lot of
at
the
home.
ones that are stars for a reason because they have ambition, and they would not be content to sit at home to collect the paycheck. Here's what's going to happen: 3 years time. They're according to the press release for this new deal or the renewal of the deal, the extension of the deal between AEW and Turner Media. They said the average episode gets about 1.2 million live plus 7-day DVR.
Yeah.
So 1.25 million roughly.
Yeah.
They're going to start getting towards that live. you're going to see about, a 30% increase over the course of 3 years of just their live numbers. If you take into account the +7, I don't know, over 1.5. I think that'd be awesome. Span to 3 years. There's going to be a mid-card title because there's so many people coming in
They definitely
to AEW. Title. They need that mid-card title.
That's the truth.
That's something that should happen within the next year, if not sooner. Most importantly, they've got a pretty decent partnership with AAA right now. They're going to expand that. Yes, they're going to start working with New Japan Pro Wrestling. It's for the benefit of all involved. And they'll set aside, bruised egos, hurt feelings, forbidden door, kick down. And they're going to forge a partnership with New Japan. And it's going to do wonders for everybody involved. Within the span of the next 3 years, you're going to see Kenny with that title, MJF with that title. Hell, maybe Darby Allin with that title, if they build him correctly. Which, granted, he needs to start winning some matches.
It's too small. He's not going to get the title.
Well, he's
mid-card title.
He's a classic underdog. There's a lot of potential for huge stars to be made in AEW. Darby Allin, one of them. Revival, they'll sign with AEW when their contracts are up with WWE.
They're not going to be up in 3 years, though. They're going to re-sign.
No, they're not. They're going to leave in spring.
That ain't going to happen.
Yeah. They're leaving in spring.
Sorry, dude.
Because the Young Bucks just said that the Dream Match Revival, they're going to make that happen. They'll put the back up the Brinks truck to get the Revival over there because it's sticking it to the WWE.
I don't think that's the Revival are going to collect a big, giant, fat paycheck.
They don't want money. They want emphasis on tag division. That's what AEW's got.
Yeah, money goes a long way, man.
Yeah, but they already said, $500,000. We'll get back to you.
Because they know they can get $1 million each.
Yeah.
Why would they take a $500,000 and they get $1 million from the
Well, it
WWE?
depends if Vince is convinced that he wants to pay them that much money, which apparently he is not. Let's move on. Next question. Cult of False Realities. See what he has to say.
What's going on, Steven Larson? Cult of False Realities back here with another Matt Chat question, and I'm keep this one short, guys. So we've been talking about how the Fiend, has been having these weird powers to where it turns people from heel to face or face to heel when they face him. So my question is, since there's been rumors saying that it's going to be Roman Reigns versus Bray at WrestleMania, would it be better for Roman to lose to the Fiend to get that heel turn? Would that actually help creative and show a new direction? Too sweet, hearty handshake. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Cult of False Realities.
Thank you, Cult of False Realities.
So this is what I'm thinking.
Okay.
So Roman wins Rumble. I said this before. This is nothing new. Roman wins Rumble. He takes on Fiend at WrestleMania. We're seeing bit by bit, especially there's a greater emphasis on this with the Daniel Bryan feud. The Fiend has a weakness. Rambling Rabbit knows what it is. Rambling Rabbit is once again dead, however, so it seems like Daniel Bryan has to be left to his own devices to try to figure out what that weakness is. Daniel Bryan is convinced there is a weakness. Daniel Bryan is convinced the Fiend can be beaten. However, he's going to come sharp at the Rumble. He will not defeat the Fiend. Next in line will be Roman. He's going to come the closest yet, but he will ultimately lose at WrestleMania. But in losing, maybe... Gee, about threw that pen in my face. In defeat, he will find the key to eventual victory. So we're going to get a year-long build to their eventual rematch, where Roman's going to do some serious detective work to really get to the bottom of what this whole Fiend thing is, pinpoint exactly what this weakness is, and learn how to exploit it. So at Mania next year, he gets the win over the Fiend. It's too quick for the Fiend to take a serious L right now.
Yep.
It's hadn't even been a year since he's come back. It'll be 8 months or so with the title. It's not enough time. Fiend getting a win over Roman at Mania, when everybody would expect Roman to win, would be huge for the Fiend. Give him a long title run, build him up, add dimension to the character, and so by the time Roman does beat him at next year's Mania, there's real weight to it. Because hopefully by then they'll add several more layers to the Fiend, and while they build him up as a heel, as basically a horror movie villain, in defeat, maybe the audience can gain some measure of sympathy for what is obviously a very broken and fractured individual. And I think there's a lot of potentially interesting storyline to be developed if they do it that way. They probably won't. Roman will probably just beat him this year, and that'll be that.
You know what would be cool? if they sort of tried to have their cake and eat it too a little bit. So I like your idea. I like the idea that they do like a year-long thing where Roman figures it out. He loses first. But they could actually have – what if they did this? What if they had Roman win at WrestleMania? But that Universal title has been so corrupted by the Fiend that when you take on the Fiend, you're changed, right? We know that. What if you beat the Fiend
and you change more?
What if the bigger deal is beating him, and like you not only have to beat him, but then you're cursed, and you have to beat the curse of the Fiend, and that's where Rambling Rabbit. And if you beat the curse of the Fiend, then the Fiend will start to get weakened. I don't know. I have no idea how they play that out. It seems like kind of an abstract concept, but I like the idea that Roman would win, and he would experience none of the bounty that comes with winning beyond just the physical title itself. Everything else would start falling apart for him. And then it drives him into like some sort of heel type madness. And then he has to recover from that. And that's how you really beat the Fiend. I don't know how it would be, but I like that better than simply him having a look at game tape and being like, okay, is there a part on his body where you have to press harder or something like that?
Well, I think the Fiend's weakness wouldn't be physical.
Yeah.
It would be mental
and so,
or emotional.
I'm wondering if, like, you know, the answer to how to beat the Fiend is you got to betray your own principles. Essentially replay the Cena thing, but do it with Roman and do it right this time. Because, you know, as you've mentioned this a lot of times, it's sort of the turning point for Bray Wyatt in terms of how we perceived him was when he took on Cena at WrestleMania years ago. You know, Cena got to have his cake and eat it too.
Oh, yeah.
He got to win on his terms, and it meant nothing for Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
Whereas if they replay that, but with Roman Reigns, who's kind of the successor to John Cena, or at least Vince wants him to be, if you replay that scenario, Roman wins, but he has to betray himself to do so, and that really takes him down this really dark path. That's an interesting story, and you can have the Roman win at Mania, but then things start going downhill for him big time.
Speaking of having our cake and eat it too, let's do both of them. Roman loses the first time. It takes him a year to find out he has to betray who he is.
Yeah. Then he beats him at Mania, goes down the dark path.
You get a whole 3-year storyline out.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be good.
That'd
I
be
like
good.
it a lot.
Next, Guillaume Halili. See what Guillaume has to say.
Hey there, friendos. This is Jacksonville's #1 Matt Chatter, Guillaume Halili, back with another Matt Chat question. This week, what I want to know, what is the absolute best thing going on for each company? What's the best thing going on for WWE? And you could talk about all 3 brands, for AEW, New Japan, and whatever else you guys want to talk about. It's not so much a debate as it is just a discussion, so have one. And yeah, you guys are amazing, too sweet and too good. Later, guys.
Thank you, Guillaume.
Thank you, Guillaume.
You want to go first?
Yeah, sure.
Go ahead.
All right, so here's what I got. Well, let's do this company. Let's do this brand by brand, I guess.
Sure.
So first up, Raw. Okay. I'm gonna say the best thing that they got going from right now is Asuka.
Yeah, that's a good choice.
She's so amazing, and I know she's probably. Here's what I hope. I hope that when she loses at the Rumble, that'll tie them up, and they'll need a rubber match for Mania. I think that'd be terrific. So that's what I have as my favorite thing on Raw. I mean, what the best thing they have going is what you put down, but I didn't want to step over that. So go ahead.
On Raw, it's totally this Seth AOP stuff. The way they kind of indoctrinated Buddy Murphy into their faction was brilliant. It seems like they're going to start, hopefully, week by week, casting a wider net with this story. It should, if done right, take over Raw and be really effective.
It'd be great if they were able to execute some sort of Raw Civil War.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
That'd be terrific.
That'd be
being said, I do want Buddy Murphy to be, if there's going to be a central faction of like 4 guys, I want that to be Buddy Murphy.
Well, I think if nothing else, you can have the core faction, whether it be 4, 5, 6 members, and then like I've said before, at a certain point when Seth feels emboldened enough, he can draw the line in the sand. Because he's already said several times, if you're not with us, you're against us.
Yeah.
Where he actually takes the Raw locker room to task and say, all right, declare your allegiance now.
Yeah.
Or if not, you get to deal with the AOP.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you can have the core group on Seth's side, the core group joining Owens and Samoa Joe, and not have to say you have like 2 30-person factions.
Right. Yeah.
Because that would get unwieldy.
Yeah.
Anyways, for me, that's the best thing going on Raw. Seth seems like he's having a blast. The way he handled.
He seems like he's having so much fun
yeah,
right now.
Buddy joining was great. I like Joe and Owens together. It's all been really good so far.
All right, on SmackDown, I've got Otis and Mandy as my favorite thing going on right now. Honestly, SmackDown does not have a lot going for it.
No, there's only two things, and we're mentioning both of them.
It's still, I was talking about this in the mod chat earlier. It's crazy to me that Raw's roster is as stacked as it is. Like, how did they end up? Like, they got it. If I was Fox looking at SmackDown, I'd be furious. Like, look at this. Look at the Raw's top 10. Where did I put this? This is in the mod chat here.
All right, why do you find that?
I know even with this, I'm like leaving people out because this is off the top of my head.
Oh, all right.
But I mean, look at their top. Golly, just
we have Brock, Seth, Owens,
okay, so
Ray, Andrade, Joe, AJ, Orton,
Aleister Black, Ricochet, Buddy Murphy, and Drew McIntyre.
Oh, Drew, yeah, that's 12. Because I named 10.
That's 12. That's a lot.
SmackDown, they have Bray, Roman, Daniel Bryan.
Exactly.
Nakamura.
Yeah.
The New Day.
So, like, here's the thing. I think any of the people, like Rude, I'm not going to say Dolph or Corbin, but any of the people, like Nakamura, yeah. Cesaro, okay. Sami Zayn if he's not injured. But they don't do anything with these guys. So they've essentially buried a chunk of their roster.
Kind of.
And so all you're really left with people that you think of as like winners, as like people who you want to see featured, at this point is Roman, Daniel Bryan, and Bray. And that's it. Mm-hmm. That is it.
That being said, for me, kind of the most
They can't even get Sasha right.
Yeah, it's weird.
Like, she's lingering.
For me, the most interesting part of SmackDown right now is what they're doing with The Miz. I think The Miz, how he's kind of been changed by The Fiend, how Daniel Bryan's involved, John Morrison, now The New Day. I think it's been handled pretty well.
Yeah,
it hasn't been too over the top.
Yeah.
Miz's performances have been really good. And Morrison, during his Miz TV segment last week, I thought was great, kind of pushing Miz to where I think Morrison wants him to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think that's all been pretty good so far. NXT, go ahead, Steve.
It's still the Undisputed Era. I take a look at they're the cornerstone. I take a look at the end of TakeOver UK. The UK. Undisputed Era guy. And Grant, I know it was a surprise thing, and surprise things always get a bigger pop or whatever. But oh my God, they got such a massive pop.
It's a pretty huge pop.
A huge pop. It's still the Undisputed. And I think Undisputed Era was going in there thinking, okay, you know, we're the bad guys coming in. This is the UK territory. They're gonna boo. No, man.
Massive face heat.
No.
For me, NXT is Keith Lee.
Oh, he's the hot hand, man.
They're finally getting around to giving him a really good push, and it's been great to see. He didn't really do much for a year and a half after he signed there.
Didn't.
But now, hopefully, it was worth the wait because he's doing awesome stuff right now. Even though they're doing a little too much of him emerging behind people.
Yeah, they need to ease up. They need to get a little bit
back
more. Yeah, I agree with that. Oh, I could also say for NXT has their women's division.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing. Yeah. It's absolutely amazing. And then let's see here. AEW, my favorite thing of AEW, and I honestly think the best thing they got going is MJF. I think he's the one guy who has been so steady. And granted, he doesn't wrestle a lot. I hope that changes. He's the one guy who's been so steady and consistent with how high the quality of his promos are that I put him at top for AEW.
Oh, for me, it's the Kenny Hangman Page stuff.
Boozing it up.
Yeah. Well, mostly, yeah. I'm really into what they're doing with Page right now. So far, they're not going over the top with it.
Yeah.
You know, usually at most he has a drink in his hand. He's got something funny on his lower third.
I feel like they're edging close to getting too much.
It could happen if they get too overboard with it. Then no, it won't be that interesting. But the fact that he's losing, he seems to have lost himself somewhat. So he's turned to the bottle.
Yeah.
So long as they don't go too overboard with it, I think could be interesting. And how this dynamic between him and Kenny is going to alienate him more from the Elite or bring him back into the fold. I don't know.
Yeah.
But there's interesting stuff going on there.
Yeah,
and I like it.
Yeah, I like it too.
New Japan, we're in agreement. It's Trans-Ibushi.
I couldn't agree with you more.
Best thing.
Absolutely best thing. Just throwing them shoot punches, zoning out. Oh my gosh.
You see that gif of him doing that? I think that was against Jay White in night 2.
No.
Where he turns to Trans-Ibushi and starts doing this.
Huh. That's interesting. That's weird.
Like he
He's
was
great.
shaking off.
Yeah.
Like he got punched in the face, and that's him shaking it off. It was just like knocking the paint off his nose, essentially.
That's fantastic.
He's the best.
He is the best.
Amazing.
I agree completely.
Next, Joshua Martinez. Let's see what Joshua has to say.
Ooh, another tracking shot here for Joshua.
Hey friendos, Joshua Martinez back this week with a Matt Chat question. So I was wondering if you notice AEW has been doing a lot of special episodes of Dynamite, whether it be the Legends of Memphis or they're doing Bash at the Beach, or I know next week they're going to be doing an episode from Jericho's Cruise, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm wondering, do you think WWE would benefit from this? Whether it be, I know they did the Wild Card Finals for SmackDown a couple years ago, but do you think they should do more of these special types of episodes, and maybe do some special things? I don't know. More of the Raw Roulette episodes. Just something I was thinking about, and be interested to know what you guys think. Thanks, friendos.
Thank you, Joshua Martinez.
Joshua Martinez. Some fine camera work there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Like the wild card final was cool. Still have no idea what it meant.
Yeah, sure.
And here's kind of my issue with doing regular special episodes, kind of like with AEW.
pay-per-views.
They already have pay-per-views, and you do special episodes. It's gonna make these B-level pay-per-views seem even less important.
Yeah.
Now, if they dolled up some of these B-level pay-per-views instead of dolling up episodes of Raw or SmackDown, then we're talking about something. If they have a pay-per-view from a boat,
yeah, that'd be good.
on the beach or something.
I'm on a plane.
Yeah,
One
sure.
of those big carriers.
I guess that's maybe possible.
Like the,
Probably not.
the Spruce Goose.
Well, that's not. I don't think they ever took off more than like 20 feet off the ground.
Well, there you go.
Um,
Was there never
on top of a blimp.
there was never a plane as big as the Spruce Goose that made it in the air? Those
know.
big carriers, aren't there planes that like carry
The
tanks
C5s
and
stuff like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
those are decent size, but I think the Spruce Goose was larger than that.
Was
Have
it?
you ever been inside the Spruce Goose?
I have not.
I was years ago.
Where is it?
It was in Long Beach.
Oh.
It used to be right by the Queen Mary. I think they moved it.
Oh,
Though.
wow.
It
Interesting.
was years ago. I remember it being really large.
Yeah.
So no, I mean it's if they're gonna doll up anything, if they're gonna spruce anything up, spruce up some of these B-level pay-per-views, because some of them just feel like glorified episodes of Raw and SmackDown.
You know what I'm totally fine with, though? Like, I do appreciate when Raw had the King of the Ring. I like when they do stuff that, like, carries the episode to episode. I mean, ideally, your stories will do that.
Yeah.
But I honestly think they just, like, Raw is pretty good these days. It's funny because Sean Ross Sapp mentioned this the other day on Twitter. He said, why is it Raw and SmackDown can never just both be good?
I know.
It's always got to be one or the other. And now it's Raw and SmackDown's crap. So, yeah, I don't know. I think they need to focus on just making good TV first.
Yeah.
Maybe, like, a special episode will, like, help that. Like, a SmackDown, maybe SmackDown starts running a King of the Ring
The
tournament.
problem is like when Vince does these things, it's not with any sort of long-term goal in mind. It's just a short-term pop.
Yeah, right.
And that's kind of the issue. I know the Young Bucks just recently said that they feel the need to kind of dress up episodes of Dynamite because they only have 4 pay-per-views a year.
Yeah, well, yeah, no, it
So
makes
they
total
can
sense.
send Bash at the Beach,
They got to have their Clash of Champions.
Yeah, man.
Has Cody, like, tried to trademark that one?
That I don't know. If not, maybe we should get on it.
There you go. Our Going in Raw presents
Oh,
Clash
no,
of
WWE has it. They have Clash of Champions now. So it's
Do they have
WWE.
Clash of
Yeah, they do
Champions?
have Clash of
All right.
Champions. Sorry.
We'll put the back in it. Clash of the Champions.
I don't think that's enough of differentiation to get a
You
new
don't think so?
trademark. No.
Are you a trademark lawyer?
No, but
We might need to contact one because we got to get on that. We have like 2 more months left to prove that we're monetizing 10 to the win.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, next question.
Next, B-Man. Patrick Sparks got a question. Take it away, B-Man.
Hey friendos, Pat here. So, new Saudi Arabia show coming up on the way to Mania. How much is that going to be the detriment to Mania? And yeah, because usually the storylines are pretty stupid and it's just a big roadblock for everything that's currently going on and has been built and continuing to build to Mania. What do you guys think? Thanks, friendos. Bye.
Thank you, Patrick Sparks.
Thank you, Patrick Sparks.
Go ahead, Steve.
All right. I don't necessarily know if it's going to be a hindrance. I mean, these things are usually sort of spectacles anyways. I mean, I know last time, like, the Universal Championship changed hands. I don't foresee anything like that, given that Mania is right around the corner. It is possible that a low-level title, like a tag title, might change hands to get where they want to go to Mania. And I could also see perhaps maybe a couple of the matches or maybe one match will have like a stipulation that will affect a Mania match, but I don't know. I mean, they booked the Saudi shows. They've been booking the Saudi shows as a bit more important than the B-level pay-per-views. And we usually get, I mean, is there not going to be a, what is it usually between Rumble
There's
and?
usually Rumble, Elimination Chamber, Fastlane. That's what it was last year.
Fastlane. Yeah, Fastlane. Yeah, there was 2 between them? Oh, my God.
Yeah, it was Chamber and Fastlane, yeah.
And has Chamber or Fastlane been announced for
I don't know.
this year?
I can check.
So maybe Crown Jewel, or whatever this one's going to be called. It's not going to be called Crown Jewel. Maybe this one.
Super Showdown or something like that.
Super Showdown. Maybe it's going to, take place instead of those other ones. But no, in WWE, they'll want everything.
No.
February
Well, Elimination
2
Chamber.
being
Elimination
okay.
Chamber is March 8th in Philadelphia. That's what's been announced so far.
All right.
So I would suspect that the February one the show is just going to be whatever's in Saudi Arabia.
That makes sense because it's late February, right? It's like the 20-something or another.
20th or 27th.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping for. That. So you mentioned that the Saudi shows are usually about spectacle.
Yeah, sure.
Of course, at Crown Jewel, we saw Brock versus Kane Velasquez. And I know there's been talk of Kane being Brock's opponent again at Mania, which the title is on the line. I'm not that interested in it.
Yeah.
Let's just have the rematch at Super Showdown.
We really need to start calling him Velasquez.
That's what I said, wasn't it?
You said Kane. I always think of Kane. He's coming back on SmackDown.
Yeah, I saw
Friday.
that. I saw that. Kane Velasquez. And let's just have that match at the next Saudi show. Title on the line, whatever, fine. So that maybe Kevin Owens or Seth Rollins or both of them could take on Brock Lesnar at Mania. A storyline that's actually part of the larger fabric of the story they're telling on Raw. Get that top title involved. I think it adds a lot more weight to the feud if that's the case. Next, got a question from Rich.
Friendos, Rich the Smash Bro here. I'm watching a couple jabronis on the screen just there. I don't know who the fuck they are, but anyway. You guys being the elite pro wrestling podcast, you do all your live streams and such. Give me the top 5 friendos you would watch the Royal Rumble with. And as much as we all love Cal, leave Cal out of it because he's been around a lot lately and he's like exclusive friendo. But, give me 5 friendos you'd watch the Rumble with. Too good, brothers.
Thank you, Rich. I go first. This is what I would do. We have the best mods in the entire business.
Oh, no question.
They sacrifice their time.
No question.
To mod our chat during these pay-per-views. And I can go on with how much I appreciate their efforts.
Yeah.
So for Rumble, give them the day off.
Yeah, okay.
And not just that, watch the Rumble with them.
Okay.
So whomever is available, 5, 10, however many are available, to watch Rumble with us. I'm talking Enforcer Stevie Bradley, Tim Spulak, Mr. Dope, A.O. Worm, B-Man, Joshua Martinez. They're all great.
I only want Mr. Dope to come over for AEW pay-per-view.
Okay.
Because he loves AEW.
I know, he does love AEW.
Have you seen a bigger mark for AEW
I
than
have
Mr.
not.
Dope?
I have not.
I swear, every picture I see him in, he's got an AEW shirt on.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
He needs to dial it down a little bit.
His love for AEW is only matched by his fandom of Candice LeRae.
And NFL players.
Yes. So our mods, that would be my pick.
That's a good one. I'm gonna go with say our most generous friendos financially. So we're talking about Epico, the good people at Draft House Games, the people who have been $50 patrons over a lengthy period of time. Our biggest charity donator, who I'm pretty sure is Sandra. So I'm gonna invite all the high roller, big money.
Good choices.
I'm gonna bring them out. I'm gonna say, hey, thanks so much. Here's some pizza. Sit down, just be quiet and watch the show with us. No talking.
No talking, huh?
No talking.
No talking, huh?
Yeah, I guess. That's what I would do.
All right. Next question from Christopher Rampersad.
Hello, Steve Larson. So my question is about Austin Theory. Do you feel like Austin Theory could join the Undisputed Era? And will he be the reason that the Undisputed Era breaks up? It'd be a great platform for him. And I feel like he's a type of guy who could join the Undisputed Era, and maybe you could tease a feud between him and Roderick Strong or something. What's your thoughts on Austin Theory joining the Undisputed Era and helping his career going forward?
Thank you, Christopher.
Thank you, Christopher.
No, I don't think Austin Theory is going to ever be a part of the Undisputed Era.
I don't even want him on my TV for like another 5 years. He's still young, man. NXT is a place where people go if they're experienced and they know what they're doing. And I just don't think that's Austin Theory. He doesn't do a lot for me right now. I'm sure in 5 years. How about this? Have him go to Evolve again. Go back there. And then have him go to AEW for an excursion. No, you know what? Go to New Japan for your excursion. And then come back to WWE when you're wizened. When you're what did they tell Adam Cole when he came to try for WWE?
Toughen up.
Toughen up, go away, grizzle up, and come back. Tell Austin Theory the same thing. Go away. You're too young. When you're 27, come back, and you'll be a big, big star.
Okay.
That's what I say.
So as far as joining Undisputed Era, no.
No,
and I don't think he'd lead directly ever to the breakup of Undisputed Era. But, for the sake of this discussion, let's say...
I'd be okay if he carried their bags. That'd be cool. If, you see their car drive off and he's running behind them.
Running after it. And this could apply to a lot of people on NXT. Like whoever beats, say, Roddy for the North American title.
Uh-huh.
And that causes a division within the Dispute Era because they're no longer draped in gold. Then that could lead to some sort of splintering of the Undisputed Era in theory. And sure, Austin Theory could do that, but that could just as well beat anybody who beats Roddy for that North American title,
I didn't mean to make this video public. Right?
Oops, it's already public, huh?
I guess so. Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
So I was just saying, whomever beats, say, Roddy, for example, for the North American title, could potentially cause some splitting within Undisputed Era. Mm-hmm. And if that person has to be Austin Theory because they really like him, they believe in him, they think the sky's the limit for him, so be it.
I would stop watching.
There you go.
I would be like, you know what? I'm all about NWA now.
Yep.
Which I already am.
You just watch Power.
I would stop watching AEW. I would just load up Impact and watch that in place of AEW.
All right. You mean NXT?
Yeah, NXT, that too.
There you go. I got a text question from the Howdly Doodly champ. It says, which wrestlers... Oh, he says the question comes from El La Parca de DJ Booty Dan. Which wrestlers represent which cat from Cats musical? And if you haven't seen Cats, what type of cat is each wrestler on the main roster? I am not familiar with Cats. I'm not familiar with Cats musical. I'm not familiar with Cats, period. I don't know which type of cat is which type of cat. I don't know anything about Cats.
I have seen Cats the musical when I was a little kid.
Yeah.
It freaked me out then. It freaks me the fuck out now. That movie looks like an abomination. It looks like it's horror. It looks terrible. Everybody says it's a fucking weird-ass movie. Graphics look like shit. There's that weird scene. I saw that one clip where, what's-her-face?
Judi Dench has her hand.
Rebel... No, I didn't even see that. I heard about that. I didn't see
I saw a still from that.
Ugh. And then Rebel Wilson, is that her name? Mm-hmm. She unzips her cat fur and she's got more cat fur underneath her cat fur suit. It's fucking weird and I can't stand it. And no, I don't know. I don't even know different breeds of cat. I know hairless cats and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all I got to say about that.
Yeah.
I don't want these people to be cats. I don't want AJ Styles to be a cat, DJ Booty Dan. All right? Howdly doodly. I don't want these people to be cats. They're human beings. No, man. I don't like when dogs are people and whales are humans. I don't like any of that stuff.
When has a whale ever talked with a human voice?
I don't know, man. I'm sure this happened.
Maybe. I don't know.
Weirdos.
Anyways, sorry. Can't be of more help. We're just not that familiar with cats, kind of across the board.
I mean, here's a risky run by getting a Matt Chat question on here. You might get yelled at.
We'll close today with not so much a question, more of a statement from Stevie Bradley.
Well, it's kind of a question. He's asking us, what do we want from the Matt Chat community, given that Matt Chat is on life support right now?
Well, let's.
We made one statement. Hold on, we got to preface this.
Well, okay, I was going to do it, an epilogue, but okay, go ahead.
Well, I feel like they just need a little bit of context.
We made a passing statement in the end of the last episode that the future of Matt Chat may be kind of up in the air for the time being.
Yeah, we're probably going to quit doing it.
Well, we'll see.
So let's see what Stevie Bradley has to say, and then we'll do our epilogue.
Hey, friendos. It's Steven Larson. It's the Enforcer here. And don't really have a Matt Chat question, but I want to talk about Matt Chat. And rumor and innuendo abound about it being removed or discussions of it being gone, and that really breaks my heart, but not for the reason people would think about it being gone. I realize why people are talking about it maybe going away or better use of Steven Larson's time and editing skills. It's because that show is for us, for the $20 patrons, for us to speak our minds, to get going with what's the hot topics, and also, honestly, to get ourselves over. That's how I got myself over. That's how I got myself noticed. So it's going to be a sad day if Matt Chat ends. I hope that other friendos at the $20 level heed my call right now and say, hey, dropping that 20 is cool, but also it offers you a platform. It offers you a platform to get off your chest issues that you may be thinking about in wrestling that aren't being talked about. Get a little foolish with it. Or it just dies, and there will be no more enforcers or AL Worms or Wayne Makers or Christopher Rampersad, who week after week blasts out one. Gian Halili, number one. I appreciate you guys keeping it going, because sometimes I get too busy at work. I can't drop one of these. I'm doing this before I head off to work, guys. Don't be afraid to just grab your phone, jot something down, send it to them, text it to them even, man. So I see these lanes where it's 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Ain't right, dude. So I guess if I got to ask a question, what do you want from us, Steven Larson, for Matt Chat? Because if it does go, it goes, man. I understand. It's a business. But I'd really hope there was a platform for us to get myself over for the next generation. All right, guys. Too good, me brother. Love you guys. Peace out.
Thank you, Enforcer.
Thank you, and for a lot of passion there with the Enforcer.
Yes, and I enjoy it.
I told him because him and I don't know Patrick or Dope or somebody in the mod chat said, "Hey, what's this about Matt Chat? You guys said it might be one of the last ones." Well, yeah, it doesn't do great in terms of you. We are always figuring out ways how to give more value to the channel, to our audience, to our patrons, to our YouTube channel members. We want to make the channel the best it possibly can be. It's an always evolving thing.
Yes.
As you can tell this year alone, already in January, we're focusing on more news briefs so that this is the one place you can go to.
Well, but it's not just a philosophical thing. There's a strategic and business minded reason behind it, and it has to do with the ever evolving nature of YouTube. Historically speaking, for a number of years, the primary metric in terms of determining basically everything was gross watch time. Mm-hmm. Which, when you have a podcast, swell, that works out well for you.
Yeah,
that changed where
like
now it's
a year or two ago. It changed
to percentage of the video viewed.
So we started looking at what we're doing here on the channel. And we're like, okay, I know that we're a podcast, but can we be can we be optimized within that for YouTube? And so it's like, well, we're never going to ditch our podcast. That's our core programming. But at the same time, like, what else can we do to optimize the channel for YouTube to make sure that Going in Raw is still a thing 3 years from now? Mm-hmm. And so we started doing news briefs. We brought back 10 for the win, which has been a pretty big success. Mm-hmm. We're going to continue to do that. And so we have to ask ourselves, well, we've got all these podcasts already with the recaps. Can we do something different with the time that we spend on Matt Chat that can even further enhance the viewer experience here on Going in Raw?
Yeah.
And so Matt Chat is one of those things where, people, it's sort of been the least enthusiastic thing for the majority of our audience. And so how can we change?
Yeah, and keep in mind, I don't think anything's firmly been decided about the fate of anything. We've had discussions. I don't think we've ever come to a conclusion solidly with a plan in place for anything. And I think the primary concern for Stevie, and I would guess for all our regular participants of Matt Chat, is just doing the video questions. Again, we haven't, if Matt Chat goes anywhere, we haven't conclusively determined how we're going to handle that. That being said, I think I can confidently say that we're going to try to work in video questions in some capacity in another way.
I think there's another. Yeah, I think there are other ways we can do it. Sure.
So if the concern is potentially losing Matt Chat as an outlet to get friendo voices out there, we understand that. We're cognizant of that, and we're going to try to find a way to keep that avenue open for the regular participants or anybody who wants to participate, as they have been. We would not, if Matt Chat is to go away, the ability to send in video questions would not evaporate with it
necessarily.
So,
unless it does. No, I agree with you. I think there's a way we can do it if the demand is there. I told Stevie, you could just have it. You can just have Matt Chat. Stevie Bradley can just have Matt Chat. They can get on the Discord. The Discord has that little group chat feature. Just record it and then give it to us if we like it. Maybe we'll run it. Maybe we won't. I don't know.
Very well.
YouTube's a free platform. Anybody can be on YouTube.
Anybody could be on there, but it's not free. It takes a little while to get that, so you can make $1.01 off it, though.
Yeah, man. Hey, we've been doing it for 10 years.
Yeah,
and we're still figuring it out.
Yeah,
exactly.
Ever evolving landscape.
I've legitimately told them, I wish Alex, Wayne, Kirsten, all the folks from the UK would get together and do like something UK based. I would love that. I'd totally see if it was like decent enough. I'd run it on the channel, at least on the audio channel. Stevie Bradley, any of them dudes, Mr. Dope, they want to do something, do it. Show it to us. If we like it, we'll do something with it. I love our mods. They're great.
They're the best.
And they're like terrific personalities.
Our community is the absolute best.
I know it is. Anyways, that's it for Matt Chat.
There's commotion going on downstairs, it sounds like. But yeah, that's Matt Chat.
Hopefully, maybe it might be the last Matt Chat, depending on what's going on out there. I'm going to barricade the door, man.
All right, you better get to it.
All right. Anyways, thanks for watching. We'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.